Well, I'm so excited to be here with Toby Mathhauser. She's the president and CEO of Goodwill Omaha. Toby, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Andy.
Well, Goodwill, I know, is a 365, 7 day operation. I mean, all year round, you do so much for so many every day of the year. But I do want to just talk about as we get into the last few weeks of 2023 and what can people be thinking about initially. And then we can talk about bigger picture, but let's just talk about what can people do? Because I mean, this is like your busy time of the year too. So I'll
Yes,
let you take it away.
we are, like you said, we're busy 365 days a year. We are grateful for every single donation, every single sale of all of our customers, but especially now during this time of the year. Goodwill is an opportunity for individuals to get rid of their gently used items to make room for those Christmas gifts. And at the same time, the donations that people are making in our stores are going to help support families who are in need, who maybe need to save a dollar, especially during this economy. And then it also goes to support our mission programming. Earlier this year and over the past couple of, we have been able to contribute nearly $2 million back into our mission programs based on our retail sales and the donations from our community. And we are so grateful for the community for that.
And I know too, let's just talk a little bit. I mean, you talked about the organization, but who do you serve in the community?
Sure. Honestly, Andy, because of our social enterprise model, we are able to serve anyone in the community who is in need of job readiness, job training, job placement services. We all know that many nonprofits who receive federal or state or some other type of private funding are restricted and have to adhere to certain eligibility requirements. We're fortunate that anyone from the community in need of our services can walk through our doors and we're able to serve them. Earlier this year, we have been able to serve over 1,000 individuals. Nationwide, Goodwills have served over 43,000 individuals. And we are helping individuals with their job search, with training for new job skills, and also employment placement. And it's free. It's free to anyone who's in need of those services.
And I think that that's probably something that some people do not know about. I mean, we think of Goodwill that you can donate your items, you can go
Yes.
and shop at your stores, your places that you're selling these items. But to me, the bigger picture too behind that is what you're providing people to get them back into the workforce and to give them education and skills that they need.
Absolutely. And you're right. Everyone knows us for our stores. And
Yeah.
that when people see the Goodwill brand, that is what they associate with is our stores. And a lot of people know that there's something good that's going on behind the scenes, but they're just not quite sure what it is.
Yeah.
And I am so proud and I love the opportunity to talk about how every donation and every sale, a portion of that goes to support those mission programs. So far in 2023, we have been able to contribute over $2 million back into our mission programs. We were just shy of $2 million in 2022, and we are projecting to be able to contribute over $2 million in 2024 from the sales of donations going to provide services to those in our community that need it most.
Yeah. Well, we've got about a minute left, and I know we're have done an interview with you, which is going to come out in the next issue of Metro Magazine, just about your journey with Goodwill and where you started and kind of where you are now in your position. So I am going to have a bigger conversation with you in January about Goodwill, as a whole, especially in our community. And my gosh, what's happening in Elkhorn and all these different,
Yes.
everything that's so exciting happening.
So exciting.
But for like right now, do you need people to keep dropping off items for, I mean, I think you need that all the time, but talk to me about what is your greatest need between now and the end of the year?
Absolutely. Andy, this is our busy time of the year and we know it. We're ready for it. We're prepared for
Yeah.
it. So our donation door attendants are ready to help get those items out of your car. We are in need of furniture. We are in need of household items. We're always taking clothing. And the beautiful part about those donations is that you're giving them back to families who are in need of needing to save a dollar, families who are needing to spend their hard-earned dollars on more affordable items. So all of those donations are circling right back into our community. Not only are we taking donations, but we are always focused on helping other nonprofits in the community. Right now, at any of our Goodwill stores, we're also collecting plastic grocery bags. We have partnered with the Open Door Mission. There's an individual who is making waterproof mats for individuals who are homeless out of plastic bags.
Oh.
And we are trying to collect as many plastic bags.
Like the plastic,
Grocery bags.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I
Yep.
mean, I'm sorry, I'm going to grab this if I can.
Yeah.
I just want
like you see in the grocery stores, they have a cardboard box for
You're talking about this? Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're collecting those at our Goodwill stores so that we can support this initiative through the Open Door Mission.
That's amazing.
Collecting used, broken Christmas lights. We've partnered with a Boy Scout troop in Bellevue. They're collecting those and they're recycling those. And so we're also taking those at our donation doors and in our stores as well.
Okay. That's great to know. I did not know that.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Well, we are out of time. Thank you for chatting with me today. Again, really looking at end of year and how we can help. But that, I'm so happy to know about that. And we'll have a bigger conversation in January and talk about, big picture and what so many exciting things happening at Goodwill Industries here in our community. So Toby, thanks so much.
Thank you, Andy. I'm looking forward to talking to you in 2024.
Yeah, you too. And
All right.
folks, don't go away. We'll be right back. Well, my friends, I'm excited to be here with Lacey Locklear. She is the Chief Development Officer for Completely Kids. Lacey, thank you so much for joining me today. And we're going to talk about the holiday season, end of year giving.
My pleasure, Andy. Happy to be here.
So let's just talk a little bit first about Completely Kids, the mission, and who you serve.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, Completely Kids is here for kids and families in our community. And we have a holistic wraparound approach that really focuses on meeting kids and families with the services they need. So whether that's a safe place after school for kids to go, adult education classes for parents to further their education or their skill set, a teen employment program, mental health support, or a weekend food program, that's what Completely Kids is here for.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, I love this organization, and you do so much for so many kids and so many families. But I know here we are. I mean, hard to believe. Oh my gosh, we're at the end of 2023. Can you believe it? What are some ways that people can contribute back to you as we look at end of year? And we can also talk a little bit about as we get to 2024. But let's specifically just talk here about end of year and yeah. How can people support you?
Yeah, right now there are two great ways to support us. First is if anybody's wanting to sponsor an experience for kids. So over the next 2 weeks, we have holiday parties at 16 different locations in our after school programs. And so those are great ways for people to, if they really want to bring something, if there's a tradition that they have with their kids, maybe they want to bring gingerbread house making to our kids. Maybe they want to do cookie decorating. We have sites that range from 35 kids in after school to 200 kids after school. So, really, a fit for any donor, any company. If people are wanting to have that kind of tradition experience, that's a great way for them to support us.
Yeah. And let me ask you this, and I'm totally like naive. Is this new, or have you always done this?
We've always done a holiday party of some sort at every single
Okay.
site. And so it really, sometimes funders come to us and say, hey, we want to support with gifts. And we are so lucky. Every single child in Completely Kids right now has been adopted for the holiday season. So
Wow.
gifts are taken care of. So now what we're having is opportunities for experiences at their holiday parties.
Yeah. And maybe that's why I'm asking that question, because I think
Yeah.
in the past we've always talked about gifts in adopting a child or adopting a family.
Mhm.
And this is something new that I'm learning about that I absolutely love, that either me or my company. Wow. Okay. So if an individual or a company, and I love the whole company piece of it, being
Yeah.
able uh, to provide an experience. So where do we go and what do we do?
Yeah, so they can contact me directly. So if a company is interested, like I said, it's a quick turnaround. They're happening next week, the next two
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah.
But if someone's like, hey, we want to sponsor cookie decorating, we can find out what their budget is, how many kids. Also
Okay.
talk about dates, because what's really neat is with this type of sponsorship, there's also the opportunity to come and meet our kids. So if they wanted to bring the cookies themselves and do the cookie decorating with them, work with our kids
Wow.
one on one and get to see where their support really is making a difference, those opportunities are there.
Okay. I absolutely love this. So um in addition to doing something like that and doing a sponsorship, what are other ways that people or individuals, companies can support you during the holiday season?
Yeah,
And beyond, I'll say beyond too.
yeah, absolutely. Right now is our annual appeal. So really is that year-end gift that we are asking people to make to help us continue doing the work that we do every day. The work that we do, is important for our kids and families. And without continued support, we aren't able to continue to provide the support that we're doing or grow it. There's a huge need. Mental health services alone, this back before the pandemic, we served maybe 92 kids a year, kind of here and there. We served just under 1,000 last year. So
Wow.
the need is huge. And with that, we need experts. We need experts in their field. And so a general operating donation to Completely Kids at the end of the year really allows us to look at 2024. Where do we need to grow? What areas, what services do we need to continue to provide or expand? And those funds really allow us to make some of those decisions.
All right, great information. And again, appreciate you and appreciate everything that Completely Kids does for the community. And folks, completelykids.org. Check them out. And if you can do something this holiday season, great, but also look at 2024. And Lacey, thank you for joining me. And I look forward to chatting more with you in 2024.
Absolutely. Take care, Andy.
Yeah, you too. And folks, don't go away. We'll be right back. Well, hello, my friends. I'm excited to be here with Josh Murray, the Regional Communications Director for the American Red Cross. Josh, thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, it's great to be with you, Andy.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the American Red Cross. The big thing we'll be talking about is the 10 Days of Giving holiday blood drive that begins on Monday, December 18th. But the Red Cross, I mean, everyone knows the Red Cross, but you do so much, from giving blood to disaster relief, whether it's nationally, globally, or locally. But I'll let you, kind of what's the mission and who do you serve?
Right. Really anybody is someone who maybe we could use our services. We talked about, you mentioned blood and our blood collection efforts to help patients in need by hosting blood drives. We're known for that. We're known for our disaster relief, whether it's tornadoes, floods here locally, or like you said, we help out elsewhere too. So maybe sending some of our volunteers to help with hurricane relief or wildfires on the West Coast at different times. But we do things, we do things for military and the veterans in our communities too. We teach CPR courses and other first aid and life-saving courses through our training services area. So a lot of different things that we do to really try to support our community.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up the CPR, because that is something that's a huge thing that you do, and also it's such a contribution. And encourage everybody to go to your website to learn more about that. But let's talk about the 10 Days of Giving holiday blood drive that begins Monday, December 18th. So what does that mean for us? For me, how would I sign up? Give us a lowdown.
Yeah, so we like to have a large blood drive around the holiday season, and we're doing that once again this year. And this year we've stretching it out over 10 days. So from the 18th to the 28th, multiple opportunities to give. We have 16 different locations around the metro area to give. So hopefully there's something nearby where you live or where you work that you can get to easy. If you want to make an appointment, you can go to redcrossblood.org. There's an area to put a sponsor code, and you can put Metro Holiday. That's one word, Metro Holiday. And that'll pull up all those locations, the dates, the times. You can click and make an appointment right there and help someone out. The donations, the whole process takes less than an hour usually for you. So we try to make it easy. If you can do on your lunch break, do it while you're running errands, find a time to give. We realize people are busy this time of year, but it's really important that we continue to collect that blood so we can have it on the shelves when someone needs it.
Yeah, absolutely. And okay, so for those of us, or for people who are considering giving blood year round, I mean, how often can you do that?
So the eligibility requirements is you can give every 56 days. And we have several people who do that. They're pretty regular. They set their calendar and they're back doing it. If we host a blood drive somewhere, a lot of times we're back there in 56 to 60 days, because we know a lot of people who work there or live there or around there are eligible to give, and they will come and return. So every 56 days. So it's, every couple of months, maybe 6 times a year. And it really does help if people are able just to kind of set that routine and get in that routine and be able to do that.
Yeah. And I know you said, you try to make it as easy as possible. And it truly is a gift to so many individuals that you have no idea, I mean, what you contributed to when you do this. So,
right.
And
there are people who are going through, the people going through cancer treatments who need it, people who are in accidents, children, babies who need it when they are born, premature babies need it sometimes too. So there's a wide range of people who need it. And so if we can help them, it really means a lot. And it does, I think it makes you feel like you are helping really save a life in a lot of cases.
Well, you truly are. And so kind of what is the current blood supply right now?
So we've seen it being kind of stabilized right now. We kind of saw it coming out of the summer and into early fall, it kind of dipped quite a bit, and we were concerned about it. And I wouldn't say we're in a great spot, but we're in a better spot than we were. But we also know this time of year, holidays, people are busy, people traveling, the weather's going to get nasty. The people have this thing that impact people's ability to give blood. So we worry about it going into the next few weeks and months about keeping that supply healthy. So we'd really encourage people again to find that help.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, I really appreciate you coming on. I just want to ask one other question besides donating blood. How can other people support the American Red Cross and the American Red Cross here in our, in Omaha, Nebraska?
Volunteers are always needed. We have several volunteers. We have hundreds of volunteers in the area, but we always need more. There's always more we can do. We're stretching our volunteers thin with the number of disasters where we're responding to, the fires we're responding to. We have volunteers who work at the blood drives, and we can't hold the blood drives without the volunteers who help run them. So definitely time volunteers will find the right opportunity for you. No matter how much time you can give, you can help an hour a month, or you can help 10 hours a week. We'll find the right opportunities for you. So redcross.org will be the place where you can find out how to apply and get more information on that.
That's great. And I think you mentioned this too. I mean, like this time of year, we probably see a lot more fires than we do typically. And I mean, I know some years it was just crazy with how many fires were going on, but truly you guys are the people that show up immediately with, you know, the families and the people impacted, but you do need the volunteers to help with so many different areas in that. So I just wanted to mention that too. I just so appreciate everything you guys do.
And it's the volunteers who do that, who wake up at 2 a.m. when there's a fire and it's
Yeah.
cold and snowy, they go out and do it. So it's all a testament to them. We couldn't do what we do without their support.
It's not an 8 to 5 volunteer job. It is
Not at
a
all.
24/7, 365. And when there's a need, these people are there on the spot. So grateful for all the volunteers out there that are doing this, and encourage you all to take a look at that as well. So, all right. Well, Josh, thank you so much. Great conversation. And again, 10 Days of Giving Holiday Blood Drive begins Monday, December 18th. You will not be taking blood donations on Christmas, but the day before, the day after, and up until the 28th. So,
Right. Absolutely.
okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Josh, again. And my friends, please check out the website and don't go away. We'll be right back. Well, hello, my friends. I'm here with Robert Patterson. He is the CEO of Kids Can Community Center, celebrating 115 years in 2023. Robert, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you. Always good to see you.
Yeah, you too. I mean, what a big, this is a milestone for Kids Can Community Center, and it's gone through maybe 1 or 2 name changes, because what was a name change? What was it?
We were originally called Social Settlement Association for our first 101 years, and then changed to Kids Can Community since hopefully we'll be that for another 100 years.
Right.
Somebody else can maybe change it again in a century, but I'll leave that to somebody else.
Well, and I also we have an upcoming article that's not out yet in Metro Magazine, but really talking about the 115 years, but also kind of your journey, because you started there how many years ago?
In December, it'll be 25 years. So I started off as program director, and then kind of morphed into assistant executive director. And 2010, I took over as CEO. So it's quite a ride.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, it's been a journey. And so once that issue comes out, I want to talk to you more about that whole journey. But today, just, you know, as we celebrate kind of the holidays, we call this our holiday extravaganza with nonprofits. Just tell us a little bit about Kids Can, who you serve, and the mission.
Absolutely. Our mission is to educate, engage, and inspire children through early childhood care and out-of-school experiences. And we do a lot of this at our main center at 48th and Q. We also have 8 after-school sites in North and South Omaha where we do those programs. So we really branched out, especially in the past decade, for what we do. So obviously early childhood is super important. Make sure kids are starting off their academic career as best they can. And then after school, making sure kids are in a safe place, but keeping them engaged and excited about STEM or music or art. Because we want to keep them in school and make sure that they have a successful academic career as well.
And another thing I want to mention that was big for this year is because you moved into a new building, or you expand. I mean, it's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, so we moved in January 30th of this year, doubled our capacity, and one of our biggest changes is we aged down to infant care. So now we take children as young as 6 weeks old. So we know infant care is hugely expensive no matter what income you make. So that's something that we really wanted to make sure that we were offering our families, and the new building enabled us to do that in a great way.
Yeah, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I guess, I mean, for any nonprofit organization, anytime you can expand or move into a new space, that takes a lot from community members. I mean, you just don't just do that.
Yeah, it was not an overnight. By any means, and cannot thank this community and all of our supporters and individuals and foundations for making this happen. We were probably long overdue for a new building for sure, And as you've heard me say, I don't recommend doing a capital campaign during a pandemic, but we did, but we were successful.
So let me ask you this. I mean, one of the things right now, it's the holiday season, and one of the reasons for this interview is just people looking at how they can contribute back to nonprofits. What are your kind of needs, or that people can think about? I mean, because there's all different ways to give financially. They can do wish list items. So, you've got a lot of people looking at different things. So
Absolutely. So we certainly won't shy away from taking your financial contribution for sure.
right.
We're not immune to inflation and everything, all the prices kind of rising around us, and make sure that we're paying our staff and a good competitive wage. The other thing we really have been pushing is our wish list. So we have wish lists at both Amazon and Target. And I really like that because we allow our teachers and site directors to really kind of put the things that excite them rather than us, guessing what they think they might need. And it's so exciting when those things come in because it is kind of like a Christmas for these packages come in. It's always a surprise to us, and always love to send pictures to everybody that if you don't keep it anonymous, but to let them know that these things that you've granted us on the wish list are making a difference and are in kids' hands.
Well, and I think too, a lot of times, even if you're just an individual or a family in particular that's wanting to give back to Kids Can, that they can go online and they can select items that they know these families want. And it's always fun to do it in a way that, that they know that so-and-so wants this, or these are items that kids maybe their age want, so they can do this. It's it's a family that you're doing it together.
Oh, absolutely. I've heard families that do that they kind of go through and they get excited about whether it's kind of a STEM something or another, or science project that, they're excited about it and want to see other kids, or they've had it themselves and kind of want to share that with others. So it's almost like the 21st century of us, circling the JCPenney catalog of everything that we wanted.
Exactly. Thank you for saying that. Okay, we're almost out of time. And again, we will have a bigger conversation right after the first of the year. I know you've got your kids, the Can Do Awards coming up on May 2nd, 2024, which is a big thing that you've been doing for years. Anything you want to say about that?
We're excited. This will be the 20th anniversary of that event, our signature event. And so time just flies by for me sometimes. So we're trying to think of different special things that we can do for that and maybe bring back some of our previous Can Do Award recipients.
Okay. Well, again, everybody mark your calendars, May 2nd, 2024. We'll talk more about that after the first of the year. But again, Robert, this was a really big year. And I just think it's just the foundation and kind of the jumping off point for so many more great things to happen with Kids Can Community Center. So I just thank you. Thank you for everything you've done for this organization and what the organization does for the community.
Well, thank you so much. I'm not sure I can top this year, but I'll try.
Okay.